Journeying through life is such an experience. Like I think I'm my favorite Tangee right now. Back when I was like in my 20s, I wasn't feeling myself like that.
Right.
I was like, I love my.
What would you tell your 20-year-old self?
Oh, girl. Oh, girl. Take care. Everything you want is on the other side of obedience. Everything you want. I can go into some details about some people, what I should do, but I have to think about, give myself grace. I experienced a lot of tragedy in my early 20s. Like my best friend, she died when I was 19. Rocked my world. I ain't been the same since. So, I think about it like, just to anchor yourself in your faith more, because that's what's gonna get you through it. You can't be in and out. You need to go ahead and anchor yourself down in it, because that's what's gonna be your lifeline.
The healthiest.
Yes, oh yes, oh yes. But everything you want is on the other side of obedience. Stay the course. Stay the course. Just stay the course. And take your time. Like everything doesn't have to be right now. Right. Pay attention. Love, think. Stop feeling all the time.
I know that's right.
Stop feeling. Think, girl. Think.
Yes.
And think about how to secure yourself, your money, your finances, your credit, all these things. Like my mother and my grandmother were like, well, you should buy a house when you're young. How you know man gonna live in your house too? And I'm like, well, but those are the things that were in my mind.
Right.
And it derailed, it skewed my thinking. And my youngest, I always say, if I had this brain at 19, 20 years old, I'd be a millionaire by 25.
Right.
Like, easy. 25, 26, 27 years old. I'm set for life, because I would know what to do. I would know how to maneuver. But you don't know what you don't know. And you can't fault the people around you, because they don't know either.
Right, exactly.
But listen to those people that are doing things you want to do. Don't listen to people that don't have what you don't have. Or the life you don't want. You listen to people that have the life that you want. Right. Oh, so much I would tell her. So much I would tell her. Just take that your body is indeed your temple. It is. You are a triune being, and for a reason. Know that you are a sacred being. You are not live on purpose. Stop fumbling through life. Have a plan. It is and execute the plan for everything. Be strategic. Time is. I'm having this whole situation with time right now, and I said something in a conversation with my sister. I said, God has it. We have an expiration date. God does not. Right. So, like, that's why I be like, I gotta get it. Gotta get it. There's no more procrastination. I don't know how much time I have left. Right. I don't know. Right. So if I don't know, and there's certain things I want to have happen, either whether it's to secure my daughter, if it's to secure my mother, or whatever I want to do, I got to get busy, because I don't know how much time I have left. Right. I have an expiration date. God does not. He's going to get someone to fulfill His will on his will on earth is going to get done as it is in heaven. So the Toddler Tutor is going to happen. Right. People are going to have these products, and they're going to be able to get these products and buy them. Now, whether I had done it or you had done it or somebody else, it was going to happen.
If it is your purpose, and solely your purpose, as some people believe, it would have happened, right? Then it would be a big missing piece in this world that was supposed to happen, and it didn't happen because you weren't obedient.
True. I think this is a debate I have with people. And people say that, well, only something you only can do. I don't believe that, because you had the same thought I did, didn't you? I did. Now, you may have not thought about busy books, no, but you thought about the tutoring. Right. People think about, I didn't even think about the tutoring. I was thinking about the books, or the services, the stuff. I did not want to teach children, but I do it because that's a part of what God wants me to do. Right. I am completely obedient to that. Right. But I didn't want to do that. You wanted to teach the kids. Right. So even still, like, it would have happened, but it would have been something, if I was not obedient to making the busy books, right, somebody else would have done it. God's going to get what He needs to get done. Right. I'm a firm believer in that. It's going to happen. It may not have been the exact same, but it was going to be something that fulfills that particular assignment. They're not going to have the same sauce I have, right, or the same idea, but something's going to happen.
So, if it didn't have the same sauce, how it's supposed to touch it.
Right. Yeah.
Because I tell Noble all the time. I tell Noble that if there's some things, we're all a big piece of them. We're a piece of a bigger puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't do your part, or if there's something that you do that's lacking, you affect other people that's around
Yes.
you.
Yes.
I'm beginning to tell him now. I think he got it, but I'm gonna keep on saying.
Please do. And God forbid somebody else does it and it's crappy.
Right.
And you could have done it better to the glory of God, like you're supposed to do.
Right.
Like, God forbid that it's not done right. I love it. I am. Yeah, I would tell Lil Tangee a whole lot.
Welcome to 1188 Outside the Box podcast, where unconventional wisdom reigns and conversations know no bounds, inspiring curiosity and self-reflection on a journey of personal growth in an authentic space to think freely outside the box. I am your host, T. Liz, and this episode's guest is Tangee Peek, the Toddler Tutor. Join us as we delve into a heartfelt discussion on growth on the other side of obedience, a journey filled with wisdom, laughter, and the kind of truth that challenges you to evolve. This one will stir your spirit and remind you that obedience births elevation. Let's jump right in.
Hello, Tangee. Welcome to 1180 Outside the Box. How are you?
I am wonderful, Liz. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for coming on. I am excited about this conversation.
Me too. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes. Would you like to tell us a little about yourself?
Sure. I am Tangee Peek. I am the Toddler Tutor. I am a believer. I am a mother. I am a servant. I am just here to try to make a difference in this world through my current assignment as being an educator. Mm-hmm. And it has been the ride of my life getting to this point, and I'm excited for what's going on next. Lots and lots to share today.
Let's talk about how we met. I think it was divine how we met.
Yes.
Both of us had a call.
Yes. I've told this story like 5 times already. And it's funny because now the people that have been with me through this process over the last, really like the last 3 years, they're not really surprised by the kind of stuff, but it still freaks me out. But yeah, like I guess it started on my end with finding my Toddler Tutor sweatshirt.
Right.
And I'm walking through my house and I found it and and the Holy Spirit says, you go ahead and wear that tomorrow. Okay. You know? So just random thought, I throw it on my basket as I'm prepping for the morning. I'll wear it and I see this lady looking at me, you know, I knew, I'm like, she's going to talk to me. Like, I just didn't know. And we had a conversation that was just, I didn't even realize the totality of it until I got in my car.
Right, exactly.
Until I was reminded that, you know,
you're part of it, right?
My part of it, right? What's so cool about being obedient, I was just talking about this with my mom about something else. And how sometimes obedience is a twofold move.
Right.
Like in order for you to be obedient, I have to be obedient first or vice versa. I could tell it was something so different about our encounter because I'm always very aware when people come to me with genuine intentions. It's just a discerning gift I have. But I was so happy to hear that you had something on your heart that you wanted to do.
Right.
And you were obedient to come and ask me about it.
Right.
And the
sweatshirt different for me. Yeah.
Really?
Because right now I am focusing on, and what I'm doing is listening to being sensitive to God's voice.
Yes.
And being obedient, right?
Yes.
In his voice, or just in the word, just everything, right?
Yes.
And so I told my sister, because when I started teaching, I was just like, this is another path. This is something I got to give because I want to teach.
Yes.
I was like, I'm going to be a Toddler Tutor. She was like, yeah, girl. Then I go on Instagram and here goes the Toddler Tutor. I was like, dang, I thought I was thinking of something original,
and
right?
I told you are.
Right? But when I saw you, it was always like I was stopped in my track. I was like, Toddler Tutor. I was like, oh my God. And so the first voice was, ask her to be on the podcast.
Wow.
Right? And then the second was like, wow, like she's like, I don't know what it was, but it was like, go talk to her. And you looked at me and I looked at you and I know you was like, what is she looking at? And I was like, I'll just wait till you're done. I want to talk to you.
Yes.
You were just so gracious about it. And then we talked we heard each other very clearly over loud music, first of all.
And within like 15, like maybe 45 seconds. We didn't talk very long.
Not long at all, but it was like so much said and so much felt in that little bit of time. And I shared that this was a part of me being obedient. And then you shared back with me about just being obedient and, being a believer and so on. But it wasn't, so through the whole workout, I'm like, oh my God, thank you, God, right? Not even knowing your part where you were called to wear the sweater. And I just thought it was just, the whole thing was just like amazing.
Yeah. Let me tell you how this is so funny, because I was riding with my mother and my sister, and my sister is on this quest. She's reading the Bible cover to cover. And my sister is probably one of the most hilarious people you want to meet. Right? So every other day, she's texting me like, girl, you know they went locked daughters then. I'm like, girl, stop texting me. So we were talking about how Paul writes 2/3 of the New Testament, right? And I was just kind of explaining to them, like, my mother was showing me all these books, and I'm like, well, some of them are epistles, some of them are like they're letters, some of them are it's a gospel book, kind of breaking down what they were. We're talking about Acts, and I walked through the story about how Saul turns into Paul, and what I love so much about that is the same thing between us. It was because of Ananias' obedience, that Saul was able to make this transformation and to come full fold into his God.
What a huge transformation it was, right? The last you would think to be called, and that alone, it says a lot within itself. There's nothing that we could do. There's nothing that we could do.
Yes, and he's of course, he's like the biggest transformation of them all, you know, as far as going from a sinner to being saved. But that when I think about how hard it must have been for Ananias to like God, he's killing us. He's like, I don't want to go to hell. But he does it anyway. He does it anyway. The obedience is the cheat code. So I'm so glad that his letter's here. And hopefully it'll be an inspiration to somebody else. Just go.
Just go and do it. And be sensitive to when you're being told to do a thing.
Absolutely.
And not be so resistant to it. And so many blessings can come from
that.
Right?
So many.
I think that most recently I'm really seeing that. Like, because I went from, so I wasn't a believer, right? So I was, right? When I was 15 years old, I got saved, right? And then I became curious. So I went venturing out around the world, just reading books and Muslim and Buddhism and just, moon and stars, like spiritual, all those things. And I had like altars set up in my house. I used to stones, rocks, every crystal that you can name. I knew what it was, and it was like a big thing, right? But I would still pray every day. I would go in my prayer room, altar, whatever. It had an ancestor altar, and then this stuff with like sage and Palo Santo, and just the Bible was on there too, though. And Psalms and all that was on there, a little confusion going on, but he never took his hand off me.
He never does.
I would pray every day. I would drop my son to school. I would go and I would pray. But I wouldn't call him the name of Jesus. And I would have debates about Jesus. And just all these things. But I just remember one day I was praying to the Most High God, creator of all things, from whom all blessings flow. That's what I used to say. Right? And so I was praying, and all of a sudden it just hit me like, you believe in the moon, how stuff aligns, and the universe, and all these things, but you can't believe in Jesus? You want to debate Jesus?
And you want to worship the creation and not the creation.
And I used to debate people at all. I used to get mad when people just say that, even though it makes so much sense to me now. I was like, I don't know why people always talking to the universe when God created the universe. And I was like, why you just don't let people be? I came a long way.
Praise God.
I came back around is what I did, because I was so in the church at 15, and my daddy had to go to the church, and I was in a cult, right?
Wow.
So he had always had his hand on me. And I think, he writes our path. He knew I was going to stray. But now I have a testimony for folks who were where I was, right? And so within weeks, this is 2022. So within weeks of me confessing Jesus is the Lord and Savior, right? It was like I got a new lawman who had a son who had a church, and now I'm a part of this church, the Faith Center. And it's just been the best ride ever.
Wow.
This journey with Christ, and just getting to know him and know myself through him, and all that has just been beautiful. So now it's just a journey of obedience, a journey of just seeking knowing him even more and better.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And just following and flowing into the plan that he has for my life, versus trying to have a plan for my life.
Girl.
Because I've been there, done that, and I think he took me down from up here to down here so that I could know who's my provider. Just all these things.
Definitely.
So it's been rough and tough.
Yes.
Because we'll get into that, but it's been rough and tough, but I'm grateful for it.
And first of all, congratulations. Welcome to the family of life. I love to hear that. And it always, whenever I hear those types of testimonies, first of all, I'm so grateful that you come back. You home, right? But also it's so enlightening to me, because it speaks so much to the ability, the redemption power that only believers can experience. And it just makes me so just happy to have that privilege, But the one thing you said that really sticks out to me is that, the Lord knew what I was going to do. And I always liken God to, he's a good father. I always say that all the time, because we're both moms, right? And I always say, I know my child better than she knows herself. I can anticipate what she's going to do before she does it. And because of that, I have the best wisdom by which to guide her. And it's the same thing with God, And we forget that because we are here orchestrating what we think is the life that belongs to us, and it really is his.
Yes, everything is his.
And it's so important to get back to the source. I always say, like, one of the biggest aha moments for me as a mom, I was pregnant with my daughter. I might be like 38 weeks, and it put me in the bed. I saw her, Iyanla Van Zant say, a mother is her child's first God.
Right.
And it floored me. I'm like, oh, I went to bed. I was
Right.
like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
But when I started to really think about what she was saying and how sustainably I was her sustainer.
Right.
You know, without me, she would not have life.
Right.
That gave me such a perspective about how we need to look at God as far as him being the orchestrator of our lives.
In so many ways, right? And then not only that, as being women and being pregnant, we're like a bridge between heaven and earth.
Oh, girl, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
and that was brought to me from a guest that I had previously, that the honor that it is to, be the bridge between heaven and earth.
Yes.
To actually bring spirit into the world that is in the human body. I mean, it is a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is divine.
It is truly divine.
It is.
Just how it's all orchestrated to be.
Yes.
And the power to be able to do that is beautiful.
Yes. And my daughter she's like my favorite person in the world. Shout out to Ava.
Hey, Ava.
But she, even in that, she is my greatest teacher.
Oh, of course.
She has been my greatest teacher.
Yes.
No, I've never learned any more about myself than I have as a mom.
Because we see ourselves in them.
Oh, yeah.
And then we see things we need to change about ourselves so that they can be the best person they could be.
Oh, girl, yes.
Yeah, man.
That's what these girls have. You have a son, right?
I do.
Oh, child. God bless you. God bless me. Because she's everything I have to keep, and that's what has kept me so in this particular leg of us of our lives. It's kept me so on the narrow path. Like and I always tell her, you're my fruit. Like, she gave her life to Christ in October along with 3 of her best friends.
Oh, that's so awesome.
At the age of 11. Yeah. So to know that she's already on a path. And so early in life, I know it's because I've chosen to do the right thing by Christ and also by her.
You've been her first Bible. You've been her first example, first everything.
Yes, yes. It's a big responsibility.
But it's an honor, though.
It's a big honor.
It's an honor to be chosen to do that.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is. And thank God I had the wherewithal to do it. And I think as parents, we always try to figure out, are we doing it right? You know, there's always going to be something that we didn't do. But that is a thing I wrote down that I wanted to accomplish last year. And God saw fit for me to see it. So super grateful for her.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
Good.
So if you could sum up your life in 3 words, what would those 3 words be and why?
Oh gosh. Ooh, yeah, I just got chills. 3 words. Favored. Transformative, and goodness, whole.
Whole. Ain't the son to be whole? Tell me how you chose those words.
Okay. In the last, I'm turned 44 on my last birthday. And to think of where I was from 34 to 44, I am like 2 different people. And the crux, like the real bounty of those 3 words kind of came into play over the last 10 to 15 years. I lost my father, who was like the cornerstone of our family. And at the same time, I was in a relationship where I wasn't the best of me was not, she wasn't there. Right. And trying to navigate loss on both of those fronts and having to maneuver through life without my anchor, right? Who was my father. And having to align myself to a new anchor, who is Christ. Because I completely understand what you said. You know, I was in the church and I was doing my thing. My father was always my cushion. My parents were always my safe place, or my soft place of land.
Yes, they should be.
And when my earthly father, transitioned home, it was a blow because like there's no one coming to save me anymore, you know. And it was a fear that I never experienced anxiety before. I never had gone through any real depression before. Like I just was completely lost. And in that time, I've been able to journey into a place of fulfillment with Christ, with God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost. That has led me to be whole. And favor came from that. You know. And the transformation has been just to go from being on the purpose-driven part of my life as far as my business is concerned. I went from 1 year being an administrator and walking away from it and going full-time into my business. It was not planned by me. But
I hear you. I do.
But it was planned by God. In so many ways, I've had to rest in that favor. I've had to know and believe that God did not give me something that I would fail at. He would give me something that he would be my sustainer. I got closer to God than I ever have been outside of being pregnant with my daughter in 2023 when I had to make the decision to leave my job, which was my dream job. I always wanted to be an instructional coach. And when I was praying one night in 2018, I was a second grade teacher. I asked God what my assignment was going to be. Because I could teach them like how to read. Very easy, right? But I wanted something more. And immediately after prayer, going to bed, it felt like I turned the light off, hit my head, hit the pillow, and it's like the Lord flooded me with information. So much so I'm getting up in my sleep.
I call it a download.
Yes.
You gotta write it down.
Oh my gosh. I wrote it down. Like pages like this. I had these little sticky notes I kept on the side of my bed, and I was just writing. And the first thing I saw when I turned on the light, and I was continuing to write, when I stopped, the words, the Toddler Tutor, right at the top. I was like, the Toddler Tutor? You never uttered the words at all. And I saw all of these things. I'm like, this is pretty cool. What is it?
Thank you, Lord.
Literally. And I end up pursuing it for a while. And that's when I set up the Instagram. It's 2018. And because my friend was like, go see if it's on Instagram. We'll see if anybody owns the name. Do this, do that. And I went and claimed it, did all that stuff. Go look for a domain. The domain was $1,400. So at the time, I'm like, okay. But I gotta wait. Yes, domain had to wait. But I got all these other things secured. And it wasn't until, this is 2018, so 2019, I get a call from a old friend. And she asked me, did you still want to go into leadership? Because I just got my master's the year before. All of that. And to get my credentials.
To do the coach.
To coach. That was the next logical step in my career. And she's like, I have a position for you at my school. But the Lord didn't tell me to go be an instructional coach.
Right.
He said the Toddler Tutor.
Yeah.
So I go because that's what I wanted.
Right.
So path completely altered. I go to the school where I was there 4 years. And I go to the interview and I nail it. I get the job. This is the fall 2019 I start. And what happens March 13, 2020? COVID. The whole world shuts down. And everybody's looking for something to do with their kids. That's why I say obedience.
Man, let me tell you.
Obedience. Every time I hear that, I'm like, Lord, where would I be had I just listened the first time?
Right.
So when the opportunity came up again, I started working on my business again. I went through a whole transformation throughout my life, and with my daughter and I, and I had to reignite my business. And that's when I got the idea about the busy book. Someone showed one to me, and they were like, can you make this? I'm like, well, sure I can make it, but how would I make it my own?
Right.
And I figured out I make the first busy book October 2022, and the Lord tells me this is going to be your abundance.
Right.
This is your abundance.
Right.
I'm like, this book? Long story short,
being resistant.
Yes. So I'm going to wrap it up and tell you that I ended up making books. I go on this whole journey of going through the process of getting pieces manufactured for me to make the busy book easier to make.
Right.
And I began making these busy books in my house in 2022 and 2023. I'd also told God I wanted the Toddler Tutor to be on the Christmas tree.
Right.
And I didn't have a busy book the year before when I said this.
Right.
But 2022, I got a picture of a person at our gym. Her grandson was opening up a busy book under a Christmas tree.
Oh my God.
So when I saw, I'm like, oh God, you doing it like this?
Right.
Shout out to oh my goodness. The very first place I sold a busy book was at Urban Market. Like there's so many blessings that favor has come from just being in the right environment.
Right. It's all about environment.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. So there was that. And then I go through this whole process where I'm literally like having to decide between my job that I love, but what God told me to do.
Right.
And I'm literally forced to make a decision. And I had to rest on that favor again to get me out. Had I not been transformed through the renewing of my mind.
Right.
Had I not been whole within myself, I wouldn't have recognized the favor that I was able to walk in and walk out of my career and into a business that has done things I didn't even think it was going to do. It's taken new places I didn't think I was going to go. And I'm still experiencing things that I didn't think I would experience just from being obedient.
Did you ever have an entrepreneur spirit? Did you ever think you would have your own business?
This is what the interesting thing is. I didn't grow up that way at all. It came about very late. Like I have a friend. She owns a business she was a teacher too. She owned an art studio, and I thought it was so cool that she quit her job and she just went. Like I'm going to own a business. I'm like, teachers don't quit their job. We're teaching forever.
Right.
And we began to talk. We got really close. I had my daughter's second birthday party at her studio, and I was just in awe of it, But it's something I didn't know what it was going to be, Liz. I had no idea. But I remember telling someone, she was from New York. It was at another school where I was a reading specialist, and she was talking about pensions and Social Security. And here in Georgia, teachers don't pay into Social Security; they pay into TRS.
Right.
But But she's from New York. She was like, "Yo, you won't get Social Security. You're not nervous about that." And I was like, "No."
Right.
And she was like, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm gonna be independently wealthy."
Right. Speak that.
And she was like, "What?"
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Don't worry about that.
Right.
I have no business.
Right. You can do it.
But when I did know, I said to her, I said, by the time my child is in middle school, she's gonna be going to school, and I'm gonna be dropping her off at school and running my own business.
And here it is.
She is in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
And I am doing just that. Now, did I know it was gonna be the busy books? No.
Right.
Did I know it was gonna be the Toddler Tutor? No. No clue.
You just knew.
But I knew.
And you spoke it over your life. It's very powerful. Our mouth, what we say is very powerful.
Absolutely.
And you spoke that over your life and you believed it. And so here it is.
Somebody believed it. I didn't want to say I was just talking trash, but I was like, yeah,
Professor, which you didn't even know.
I didn't even know where it was going to come from. Right. And so many things in this journey have been just that. I've had the boldness to declare what I knew was true in my heart.
Right.
What God had told me to do. And here we are,
It's amazing. I tell people all the time, because they'll say, a lot of times people will say faith without works is dead, which is very true.
Absolutely.
But a lot of times we can use that to get in our own way and detour our path. So we have a plan that God has set in place for us, but it's going to be too slow. It don't look like what we think it should look like, or we're very confused about it. So we have something over here that is very comfortable that we know. For instance, you go to work, you put in your hours, you get your check, you already know.
Yes.
It's over here. I'm not really sure about this or how this is going to go. And it's about that word trust. It's about trusting.
Trust.
And having the boldness to be obedient to what it is and stepping out on what's called faith.
Yes.
Not knowing what it is, not knowing what it looks like, not knowing how it'll come.
Yes.
But knowing I'm being led on this path, and if I stop being resistant and stop trying to pull and do what I want to do,
yes,
things will be so beautiful. In this position, I found that teachers ain't really getting to teach no more.
No, they raising the kids.
They don't have the autonomy to teach.
No, they don't.
And they don't. They're given. There's like the teachers are being treated like robots, and then the students are being treated like test subjects.
Oh yes, definitely.
Because they're just tested all the time on what they know, instead of let's just teach them so that they can know.
Right.
So it's disturbing, and I think that's what I knew, that when I got that feeling in my heart, that it was more than just me being at the school.
Right.
That I need to take that outside of school to fulfill the passion and the purpose of teaching.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why I was like, girl, I'm gonna do Toddler Tutor. I'm gonna do this. And she was like, yeah, girl, that's a good idea. The Toddler Tutor was already online. I was like,
listen, the wonderful thing about it, there are millions of children for us to teach.
I know.
And that's why I always, I was so excited when you said, I was like, oh yeah, I need help.
And I didn't expect that, right?
Really?
It's just, people act like they don't know that there's enough children and enough resources and enough everything for everybody. Yeah.
Let me tell you.
I've had several businesses throughout the years, and you'll ask folks for help if you're trying to tap into their market, and they'll act like it's just no. Like I don't have associates anymore because of that. It's almost like if I have it, you have it. That's my personality.
Absolutely.
Like it's enough of everything. There's no lack.
Let me tell you, they print $516 million a day. It's enough money for everybody. $516 million a day. That's how much they print.
Right.
I can't say this. That's my head cash in my hand.
Right.
But they still printing $516 million.
Right.
All my money is digital.
Right.
But they still print $516 million a day.
Wow.
So there's more than enough money out there to be had.
Yes.
So I don't, what they call it, gatekeeping.
Yeah.
No.
Not at all. You can't be a blessing by not being
Absolutely.
By not being a blessing. Because if you're blessed to be a blessing.
Yes. And one of the prayers I always say is God help. That's like short. That's all the time. Right. But I'll tell you, let me tell you, God does always send help, but we are each other's help.
Yes.
We are his foot soldiers. We are the one that do the doing. I thought I was going to be making busy books and going to the gym every day and going to the post office
and mailing them off.
And mailing them off. That's what I wanted to do. But I never intended on teaching children.
Right.
That was not my plan at all. Wow. At all. The only reason I even had a child with the busy books was because, like I was telling you, I had a product that I sold. And I'm like, well, if I was a parent, I would want to see the product in action before I did anything.
Right.
And when people saw me with the product, the little girl with the product, They're like, oh, well,
open up a whole new
it opened. Like, oh, can you tutor my 2-year-old? I'm like, no, I don't do that. But I ended up doing it.
Right.
I thought I was doing something else.
Right.
And I'm one of those people, okay, this is the plan, God. Oh, okay, we're going to do it. We're going to make busy books all night. We're going to, that's what we're going to do.
Right.
And I was trying to figure out what my next move was. And I realized even throughout the time of making busy books, my whole day was free. My daughter went to school.
Right.
What was I going to do?
Right.
And I got a call from a family. And they asked me about coming to tutor their son. Mm-hmm. And we hit it off. And they were like, we don't want you to be his tutor. We want you to be his teacher. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I don't teach kids. They were like, but you're the Toddler Tutor. I'm like, I don't care.
Let's go. Yeah, I say that, but
I want some busy books. They had Toddler Tutor on it. And those people made me an offer I could not refuse. Right. He said, well, just tell me what your number is.
You gave him an absurd number.
And that fool called me. And I remember I was in New York when he sent me the first one. I was like, I cannot believe this. And from there, I added Samaj. I added Mia. It has been a whole thing.
Right.
And it never was a part of my plan.
Right.
But now I see the beauty of it and
right.
what God is doing through the platform and what we do
right.
in our sessions is blessing so many people.
Right.
And
that's what it's about.
I didn't think about it like that. Like when I ended up working with Samaj, he at the time maybe had like 580,000 followers on Instagram, and he was very popular.
Right.
So when I was doing a session with him, and all of a sudden my phone starts blowing up. Like people are texting me, and I'm getting all these calls. I'm like, what's going on? I'm sitting here teaching him, and I'm like, I have to like turn off my ringer, take off my watch. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And I mentioned to her, she said, oh, I just posted your YouTube.
Oh.
I was like, so by the end of the day, 15,000 people had seen me teach.
Right.
Now, I've been a teacher 14 years.
Right.
15,000 people hadn't seen me do what I do, what I love, what God created me to do. And in a day,
just
15,000 people. It was unbelievable. But I knew then something big was about to happen.
Yes.
And I've been on the road ever since. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And even like you say, even in the ebbs and flows, I always say, no, God, you're faithful.
Right, always.
You're faithful. And I'm going to be faithful too. If you can be faithful to me, if you can be faithful to me, I can be faithful to you. I'm going to keep going. So I feel you on that. Like, it's important to remember why we do what we do in the first place and who told us to do it.
Right.
Because I always say, Lord,
forget that.
If it's your will, it's your bill.
Yeah.
So,
I know that's right. I'm still in that.
Mm-hmm. I was like, listen, God, you told me to do this. Like, I was very explicit. I need to be able to take care of I walked away from like an $85,000 salary as an instructional coach. Like, I was doing well.
Right.
And with bonuses more than that. So I'm like, okay, so I need.
You must have something.
You got to. Right. Because I need to be able to take care of my child's expensive.
Right.
And she likes to do stuff, and me do too. So I want to make sure I'm taking care of her to the level she's accustomed. And she doesn't lack, and I don't either.
Right.
And I had to go back to the word and say, look, you said, I've never seen the righteous forsaken or a seed bread. I'm righteous, so my seed is not going to be forsaken or begging bed either. We're good, right? So I'm constantly saying, all right, Lord, this is what you said.
Right.
This is what you said.
As long as you bring the word to him, he's going to.
Baby, that's my receipt.
Yeah.
Those are my decrees.
That's the contract.
That's the contract. I signed it. Yes. You signed it.
And we all good.
I'm like, this is what you said.
He gonna stick by his word before we do.
He will.
So we know we say.
Yes, so we are. But that has been the plan. And the execution of it has been just wild.
So besides toddler tutoring, what do you enjoy to do? What are your hobbies? What do you enjoy?
Ooh, what do I like to do? It's so hard to remember. I always say, if you can get me away from my bed, my child, and this business.
Hello, the bed.
Oh, the bed is my best friend. I of course love being with my family. Right. That is they are my healing balm. My sister circle, all of my friends are my family, so I kind of include them in all of that. Right. I'm a seeker of knowledge, primarily now, the word, of course, how to use various texts to grow myself and my business.
Right.
What else do I love to do?
You like to travel?
I do love to travel. That was my next thing. I love to travel. And again, it's a part of exploration and knowledge. Like, I went to Greece last summer, and it was a game changer for me. I was just like, I thought I was going out the country, but no.
Yeah.
Going abroad.
Yeah, is a game changer.
Is a whole other experience.
Your whole perspective.
Yes.
Yeah.
On life. Like, there is another side of a whole different world.
Yeah, where they are happy there too.
They are so happy.
Yes. A lot of times if you never leave America, you feel like everywhere else is just they just walk around kicking rocks or unhappy people, but they are free.
They are
They are happy.
They are happy.
They're
and
alive.
They are not stressed.
No.
I've learned so much about myself as an American.
Yeah.
As great as I am,
Yeah.
my perception on things is very skewed, but it made me so aware of how we take so much for granted here, and how other people literally have to work for everything. What else do I love to do? That's such an interesting question. Like, you have somebody's business, I can talk all night, but about me, I'm like, but taking care of myself, working out is it is a hobby.
It is a hobby.
It's a lifestyle shift, and just taking optimal care of myself is just definitely a new mild obsession.
Yeah. Tell me, what's the greatest piece of advice you've ever? What is the greatest piece of advice you've ever been given, or that's prominent, that has helped shape who you are today?
Ooh, the greatest piece of advice. Oh, it's so many. The greatest piece of advice is when people show you who they are, you believe them.
Yeah, girl.
That's when it comes to mind first. And that's in good situations and in bad. When people show you that they're good and they have well intentions towards you, believe them. Believe that you deserve someone to be good to you. Believe that you deserve someone to be kind and to be gracious towards you. And of course the negative end too,
Right, but don't assign the negative to that person. Right?
Yes.
If they're good to you and they're treating you and they're showing you they're a good person, they're showing you any different.
Yes.
Don't, and I'm working on this. Don't have a guard up anticipating for them not to be that person.
Right.
Until they actually show you that they are that person.
Yes. I'm an open book.
Right.
Like I just, and at this point, and especially now at this age, I don't care what nobody thinks about me.
Yeah, right. And it's not,
but it's like if it's not my daughter, like her opinion is like, of course, God, but but like, as long as I'm a good mama,
right.
Everybody else is, you good. You can be mad about that. I don't care. Right. But I always am too old for reputation at this point. Right. But when it comes to being transparent about things, of course, I'm not walking up to people out here, hey, you want to know about my life story? But once you've been vetted, like to sit and talk to you like this, I got reassurance that this was a safe thing to do. Right. So I would tell you whatever you need to know, because I know to get to this point, I didn't get here being completely foolish. I have wisdom to share. Right. So I would do anything to help someone along the way, and that does require being open. Right. And so I guess my thoughts are, it's not about being I will always live by the creed of, I'm going to trust you until you give me a reason not to. My mother always told me that as a child growing up, and it served me well, because once I know that you're not trustworthy, it's easy now. I don't have to be surprised. Right. I'm giving you everything you need up front. You're going to lie, you're not. You're going to do what you say. You're not going to say you're not going to do it. So I can move accordingly. But so that's a part of when someone shows you who they are. Right. Believe them.
Right. On the onset.
Yeah, I do. I would definitely say that has been a part of my wholeness. This being able to say, no, I'm gonna spill my. If you want my tea, I'm gonna spill it. Right. I'm gonna tell you, give you my narrative of me, so you know the bold truth. Right. And I don't pull any punches. So I would say that's a freedom. Right. I would encourage you to explore.
Yeah, I definitely am. This podcast has helped me be a whole lot more open.
Very good.
It's helped me to tell a lot more about myself, things that I might have been shameful about before. It's helped me to be able just to express that. Because I'm just an imperfect being just like everyone else.
Absolutely.
And I've also learned that when you share your story and when you share your pain or you share your shame, that you understand that others also have had that path, right? Yes. And then you can just be a help to that person, or a listener who might have had that same story or a similar story can find comfort in knowing that, oh my God, somebody else has too. You know, even though we all know it, just knowing somebody that has.
Yeah, and you made it through it.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, you're on the other side of it.
Yes, and being able to give a story, give a testimony, and be show that you're transformative through it, and show who you are on the other side to help someone to get there. What is authenticity to you?
Authenticity is the boldness to always tell the truth. Like, no matter how it hurts, no matter what it feels like, to be unapologetic about who you are, who you serve, to just be very intentional about what you present to the world, and how you're walking and leading your life. That needs to be authentic. It has to be real.
Truly you.
That's the only way you're going to be able to impact other people.
Yeah.
And it's not perfection.
No, it's not. And that is the beauty about being authentic.
Yes.
It's being who you are and learning and knowing who you are. And we're learning that every day, right?
Oh, definitely.
Every day, and we're learning who we are every day. We're not the same person that we were yesterday nor last week.
Or when I look back, I just keep saying that 10-year mark, I'm like, I don't even know who that girl is.
Right.
It's just so it's amazing, the growth, but we, in the road to being authentic, at this place in my life. And I'm learning this more every day, to give myself a considerable amount of grace.
Yes.
Because I'm still learning.
Every day.
Every single day I'm still learning. My daughter, when they get about 12, they get to the point where they think they know everything.
That's why I don't want no girls.
And I was like, listen, sis. And she and I'm so glad I had a mother that modeled what it was like to have a real connection with me.
Yeah.
We had a pretty good relationship growing up. And so I think I've done that and more with my daughter.
Right.
I tell her all the time, like, listen, you've never lived on this planet without me. I have lived on here without you.
Right.
I got 32 years head start.
Right.
So let me tell you something. It's okay if you don't know everything.
Yeah.
I don't even know everything.
Right. So you can't possibly know
You
everything.
can't possibly know everything. Let me help you. Yeah. We're in a coaching phase. You're playing out the game and I'm showing you what to do.
Right.
And at some point I'm going to go to I'm not going to be completely off the field with you. And you have to play by yourself.
Right.
But you know the plays.
Right.
And you always have a coach.
Right.
But you got to come to me now. I'm not on the field with you.
Right.
But now we're on the field. So I think about that all the time. And it's so important for me to constantly remind myself of that. I set the tone for everything in my life.
Right.
Whatever I want her to do, I have to do. Whatever I want this business to become, no matter. And I can tell you how good God is in my business and all the great things happening. Oh, I'm thinking that this and this. But guess what? If I don't do it,
right.
if I'm not being authentically true to who God says I am,
right,
like for real,
uh-huh.
It's not gonna get done.
Right.
No matter how wonderful and grand the scheme is,
right.
Not the scheme of it all is. I have to be sure that I am who I am. I am who I believe and say I am.
Right.
Every single day. And even in that I'm still learning. So giving myself a considerable amount of grace.
Yes.
To do that has been,
it's completely necessary. I think we all need to give ourselves grace. All need to give ourselves grace. There's only perfectly imperfect. That's all it is. Every day.
You're right.
Going to disappoint ourselves in some way or
another. I think that has been the hardest part, the disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
The things that I thought would have happened by now that have not.
Mm-hmm.
Or the things that I thought I would have created by now or done by now, and they haven't happened yet.
Right.
And I'm like, I struggle with that at times.
Right.
I'm like, okay, God, you've given me all this stuff to do. When is it gonna happen?
Right.
You get impatient, or
right.
I have these desires or
right.
these things I want.
Right.
When is it gonna happen?
Right.
But I try to stay. That's where I remind myself all the time. You have to stay like a parent. You do what I tell you to do,
right?
And I'll do the rest,
right?
And I'll do the rest.
So so hearing the voice of God has been the past 5 weeks at church, and today,
okay,
he talked about what you just said. He said, how many of you have been in the waiting phase in faith? And you're like, God, when is this going to happen? God, when are you going to, like, I've been waiting, and so so he said here, the harvest is attached to the strength, to the faith process.
Yes.
And so when you're getting closest, when you ask more questions, and there's a season that is apparent, that is in due time, that is in God's time. This is happening for all of us.
Yes.
And it does. And so that you said that, it is just like he's just preparing you for the harvest. And it might be a long time for you, but it's going to be on time for him.
Yes, it is.
Right. And
True.
so
True.
I've been there, and I'm there now.
Yeah. Yes.
I think we all are in a waiting phase at some point in our lives, and for something that we're wanting or praying for or being in faith for. And a lot of times we're not ready for it. We may think we're ready.
I can honestly say it was going through a place where I had to look at myself intimately and see myself. It was the most humbling experience of my life, but it made me so much more vocal, so much more fiercely loyal in another way. Like,
right.
I've had conversations with my friends. Like, if I see you doing something dumb, I'm gonna tell you, especially something I've experienced.
Right, exactly.
And I've had friends say, well, could nobody tell you now when you was going through your stuff? I'm like, listen, hold on, let me tell you something. That was at 32, 34 years old. Now, 32, 34-year-old Tangee might have been like, I should be all right. 44-year-old Tangee, nah, baby.
Right.
I don't want to see you waste any time.
Right.
Time is the one thing you can't get back.
Yeah.
So why I'm not gonna let you go through 2 years
if I
know,
yeah,
and you know I know,
yeah,
you were there with me,
right,
acting a fool.
Right.
So why do you want to tell me? Well, I let you act a fool. Well, I don't want to let you act a fool. Right. You're too old.
Why did you let me act a fool?
Right. You let me be ridiculous. Like, why? We're not doing that. I love you. I had to literally tell this person, I love you too much,
right,
to allow you to make the same mistake. I value
at least
you.
to say something.
I got
you
to
can
say
listen
something.
if you want to listen. You don't have to. But I'm not going to just stand by.
I can't stand by and see you do something to yourself. But what that does, in our situation, because everybody's not mature enough to have this type of
Right.
conversation, but you can't be in my life if you can't have this type of
Right.
conversation.
Or if you can't allow me to be able to tell you the truth about you.
Yes.
Yes.
It allowed my friend to tell me, this is really why I'm in this situation. It has nothing to do with the person. It has to do with what I get from the person. And I understood that. I understood her pain.
Right.
I got it.
Right.
But it still doesn't make it right.
Right.
But I'm just letting you know I get it, because I don't know that, because that's not we don't have a linear experience in that way.
Right.
But as a friend, I got you. I still don't like it, and I know you deserve better.
Right.
But I can at least understand.
Yeah.
So if you can't have those type of, like we talk about emotional intelligence,
Right.
There's very few things. Whatever songs say, I don't fight, I don't argue.
Right.
I don't hit nobody with no bottle, but I don't do that.
Right.
I promise you I don't. If we cannot have a conversation that is civilized,
right, and you know that I'm coming to you from a good place. I'm not coming from malicious intent or anything. I want the best for you,
and I'm always gonna tell the truth, even if you don't like it.
Yeah.
So it
I
is
tell
what it
people
is.
all the time, tell me about me.
Yes.
I might not be able to see me how you see me.
Yes.
I may be a creature of habit doing some things that might not be the best characteristic trait.
Yes.
I need you to tell me about that.
Yes.
Because if you don't tell me, then how can I be my best self, my whole self, right?
Yes.
So and I might be offended. I'm not saying I won't be like, well, have excuses or say something about it or be offended, but in a mature way, it may have a rebuttal, but I still hear it.
Absolutely.
And I'm still open. Like I'm open. If you're not that type of friend, then what we doing?
What are we doing?
Because if we all just gonna agree, or I'm gonna see you over there making the most ignorant decisions there are. And not say nothing.
I'm not an enabler.
Why are we friends?
We doing it. I'm not an enabler. I can't do it. And I just, not at this big age.
No.
I'm 44 years old. Man.
Right.
My village is strong. So that's a blessing. But that has been very intentional, because I can't have you're only as good as your weakest link.
Right.
And I can't think of one weak link around me.
That's beautiful. What is gratitude for you? What role does that play in your life?
Oh, girl, Jesus! I think you did about 40,000
Amen. For everything. And they might be like,
in all
Lord.
things,
What happened? Nothing. Just thank you, Lord.
In all things, give thanks. I'm telling you, like I say that 100 times a day. 100. I know I got to. Like literally, I used to one of my grandmas walk by and say, "Oh, thank you, Jesus." Like, what she's saying? I get it now.
Yeah.
Gratitude is major in my life. I had this book that really introduced me to it. Like I used to write down 10 things I was grateful for every day. And I recently went back to it and read those things. Every day it was something different. Some things were the same, but it was always something different. And even most recently I got a clicker. You know what they say that you click when you count people like you're in a stadium.
Yes.
I follow a prophetess, Tiffany Montgomery, and she said go get a clicker, and then every time you count how just be thankful. Like count what you're thankful. Count your blessings. That's what you were saying. And I started doing it. They came like a set of 5, so I got a bunch of them. But I would keep one in my car. So when I was driving to boot camp in the morning, I'd be in it all the way. God, thank you for waking me up this morning. Thank you for my car. Oh, thank you for my car. Thank you for giving me a place to go that my body can go and I can go exercise.
Right.
God, thank you for the energy in the building. Thank you for my friends that are waiting for me. God, thank you for my house that's safe. Thank you for my daughter that's in my house. She's able to sleep soundly while I'm gone.
Right.
God, thank you that my body can move. God, thank you for waking me up in time to go. Like when I tell you thank you for giving me comfortable shoes to wear, Lord.
Right.
I thank God for so much. I didn't have room to think about what I didn't have.
Right. That's it.
It eliminates your thought of lack.
Yeah. Yep.
And when I tell you, even to this day, my mother doesn't even understand it. She was looking at me like, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what it looks like. I'm always gonna be thankful.
Right.
I will always be thankful because it could always be worse. In my mind, it could always be worse.
That's what I tell people all day. It could be worse.
Yeah.
And people don't like to hear that, especially in certain times. But it could always be worse.
When I think about people who their whole family get wiped out in a car accident.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or my child, I remember I took her, she had a fever and it wouldn't go away. I think she had some virus. And there was a child there that she had a fever too, but she had cancer. And my baby was like, "Mommy, why does she not have any hair?" And I'm sitting there and I'm stressed out about her having a 104-degree fever, but I'm like, Tangee,
yeah,
you have a healthy child.
Right.
Thank you that my child is healthy, happy, and whole.
Yeah.
I thank God. I was thanking God on the way here. God, thank you for the opportunity to go and talk about something you gave me.
Right.
God, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know who's going to hear this.
Right.
Who's going to be blessed by this. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to Thank you.
In everything that we do.
In everything we do. Okay. I live by this, and it's a scripture I literally stand on every day, and it governs my life. Romans 12, 1-2. In everything you do.
Yeah.
Everything you
Everything.
do.
Not just one thing.
It's worship.
Yeah.
Everything we do is worship. It is your reasonable service to present yourself as a living sacrifice.
Right.
And when I was young, I thought that had something to do with sex. I don't know where I got that. Has nothing to do with it. Misconceptions all around,
always.
Right?
Yeah.
But when I tell you, when I got an understanding of that, it was a sermon someone sent me from Creflo Dollar. Changed everything. He literally, it was like, he preached about it. He was like, everything you do.
Everything
is worship to God. Think about it like that. And as you renew your mind, as you constantly renew your mind every day, God can give you his perfect will for your life. He can't give you his will if you're not ready.
And if you ain't seeking him.
If you're not seeking him.
Yeah.
So that's what that's why I'm always thinking, I'm always talking about, I'm always in a place of gratitude. I'm so low and humbled by what God has done in my life. Because I don't deserve it. Right. I have been so disobedient. I've been so raggedy. He know how raggedy I am.
Still, yeah.
And still, here you come with this bountiful opportunity.
Right.
Not for me,
but
for the world. I can't even thank God enough. I would have never thought I'd be sitting here talking to you about a business.
Right.
That just a couple days ago, I just finalized an order with an investor to have my book mass produced. Something I used to make these books in my living room with my hands. I used to cut out the pieces and put the Velcro down. Can you imagine? One move from God did this. I was one decision got me here, and God sent help. What's my shortest prayer? God help.
Yeah.
All the time, like, God help. Help. God help.
Yeah.
God help.
I mean it.
And I mean it.
Yes.
This is a testament. Favor. Favor. Unmerited favor. I have stories for days. I can call people on my phone right now, like, this happens to her all the time. Unmerited favor. Only because I decided to do it God's way. Only because I finally just like, you know what, I'm so stupid. I don't want to mess this up. Right. I don't want to mess this up. God, you gave this to me, so I'm gonna give it to you. Yes. So you show me what to do.
Lead me. Yeah.
Lead me, guide me. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. You show me.
Holy Spirit,
guide
me.
Yes.
I sing songs to Jesus all the day. I make up songs all the time. Lord help me. Because I am so sure. I know what I know for sure is that I know absolutely nothing. Right. That's what I know for sure. I don't know anything except what I've already experienced. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. What I know is obedience will get you somewhere so fast. And
your head is spared. Don't know where it's coming from.
I would have. You told me a year ago that said, "Oh yeah, you're gonna have someone's going to purchase these books for you." A whole lot of
right. Yeah, it is amazing.
It's just gonna say, I wanna buy these books for you. Let's sell them. Let's do this. Let's do that. I'd have been like, why? Why is he gonna do that? Only because he's looking at it like this is $100 million business. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. Let's do this. And he sent help.
Yeah.
Only just off of one act. We can never discount how powerful obedience is. And procrastination is obedience. Yeah. And I'm guilty.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Guilty. Yeah. There are like 4. I have a list of things I'm supposed to have done by Tuesday on the 1st. And I'm about to be up 24 hours. Right. I got to get it done because I'm not taking it in the water too.
Right. And so in the interview I did the other day, he said that procrastination is the audacity that God is going to give you the opportunity to do tomorrow what you could do today. And I was like, wow, shout out to DP. I was like, wow.
DP, that's a bar.
Yeah.
That was a bar. Because I'm telling that's exactly what it is. How dare you think?
Right.
God's going to give you more time to
waste
his breath.
Yeah. That's what he said. How dare you? How dare you think? How dare you have the audacity to take for granted that you got breath today?
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. And we do it all the time.
Every day.
All the time. And it's scary to think how so many people take for granted just getting home every day.
Yeah.
Life.
Yes.
And
because we don't have to.
We don't.
And every time I put in the driveway, just about every time I say, thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. I made it home.
Yeah.
And yeah. And oh gosh, and I'm still conquering procrastination. Like just today, I did laundry is like
the devil. The devil.
But when I tell you I had to tackle it today, I said I'm not doing nothing today.
Right.
Except because we had Sabbath at my church, so everybody's at home. I said I'm gonna tackle my laundry today. Did it? It was now that it's done.
It's liberating. Oh my gosh, yes.
I don't have to look at this in the morning. I know exactly what things are. It's just the littlest things that cause so much anxiety. Oh, procrastinate.
Yeah.
It's like gloves off, like foot to the gas, foot to the floor. Like people say, smash the gas.
Right, you smashed it.
To the floor because I'm in a time crunch to get certain things done. I gotta get it done.
Right.
Execution is the key. So because like you said, you plan that podcast, you're doing it. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna think about all.
Yeah.
Just get it done. Because once you did the first one, how did you feel?
Wonderful.
Yes.
The action came behind that. Because once I started one and put it out there, I had to do another.
Yes. Well, I'm on lives with Samaj, and there's people on there. People are up in Senegal watching us. They're in Europe watching me teach this child. I am a teacher that is teaching a child about God. Right. People don't like that.
Right.
The devil don't like. My thing is, we as believers have allowed people to push God out. But you don't. It's not about pushing him out. You take the church. We are the church.
We are the church.
So I don't have to tell you that I believe in Christ. You should be able to look at my life or see what I say or what I do. And say, okay, well, I want to know more about what she does, or who she serves.
Who she is, yeah.
Like, why does she have this always? You're always so happy all the time. Let me tell you about God.
Right. Let me tell you about him.
Yeah. So we're supposed to draw men to God.
Yes.
So it's not just about being in schools. Like it's the light that we carry, right? So yeah, people don't like that. But they're gonna be mad at me next week, baby. That's what we learned about.
Right.
And
they're gonna have to be all right. It's always gonna be somebody
everybody else
something.
Yeah, everybody gets to say everything else they believe in, what they like and what they don't like. It's time for believers to be just as bold. Why are we the ones having to be quiet?
Why are we the ones having to be quiet? And to backtrack what we're talking about. Because it doesn't take anyone who, for instance, somebody might have a child who is very young but says they're of the opposite sex. They're very loud and proud about it.
Oh,
and they're supported in it too. But to talk about God, it's
a problem. Now
it's a problem. It's even a problem to say you're heterosexual nowadays. Now you're hating on.
Yes.
No, because I am who I am.
Authenticity.
Right.
It's as loud as anyone else is about who they represent. I'm gonna be just as loud.
Right.
And that's just it. We're gonna have to learn to coexist.
And that's how we're supposed to exist. I mean, that's what makes the world go around. So to peacefully coexist in who we are.
Yes.
Just because I am who I am, that doesn't take away from you and your belief system and what you believe and what you got going on. And you shouldn't try to impose that on me.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. If I'm a live and let live person, I don't judge, do what you want, but don't impose that on.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. But and even in that, because we were raising children in this time. That's why we have to be so steadfast and prayerful over our kids because they're exposed to things that I'm still like, like that's on TV, like
and that's normal. But that's normal. That's for us. Is we taking it back and we clutch our pearls. Like I can't believe this is happening.
Yes,
but for them, it's the norm.
It's the norm. And I have had to talk to my daughter about things like she's like, well, and I had to be very explicit with her. I said she asked me about. She has a friend that's struggling with her sexual identity. And I said, I'm gonna tell you this. I said, God doesn't hate anybody.
Right.
God loves her.
Right.
God hates all sin.
Right.
So that's something that we all have to work out those things. So if we're going to rear children up to be believers, we have to be talking about real world situations.
Absolutely.
So they can know how to navigate through that.
Right.
Yeah, it's a trip.
It is.
A whole trip.
It is. You gotta be real sensitive to it too.
And they got the right ladies for the job. Is that right?
They sure do. They absolutely do.
Yeah.
If you can sit down and have dinner with any historical figure, where would you go eat? What would you talk about? What would your questions be? And why would you choose this person?
Let me see. I would have to say, because my first thought is the Savior, but I'm not gonna be that. I'm not gonna do the cliche. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say Harriet Tubman.
Okay.
I am so fascinated with her because she's a believer.
Right.
She was a believer. She was led by God to lead people to freedom.
Right.
She as I studied her, even when I was a first grade teacher, I love teaching about her because she's like this warrior woman, right? And I would tell them like, Harriet Tubman, they said she never lost a passion. I said, y'all know it's because she carried a gun. They were like, what? They couldn't believe this is first grade now. So, but I love her story because it's all about obedience.
Right.
She goes.
The boldness it took.
Can you imagine?
I cannot. Yeah, the boldness.
She leaves because she's going to be sold. And then she comes back thinking she's coming back for her husband. She's drawn back, but she's coming back she doesn't know why. She thinks she's coming back for one reason, but she's coming back for another. And she continues to come back. Then she has these spells. God speaks to her while she sleeps. And she knows what to do. There's no other explanation for it.
Right.
That she would know where to go, where not to go when she wakes up.
Right.
People sit there looking at her wake up.
Because ain't no GPS.
Ain't no road, ain't no map. They have only their instinct and what they know about the environment, about their environment, the world, nature to guide them. And she frees people, brings them out of bondage to freedom.
Right.
I want to know, what was God saying to you? What was it that made you so sure? Now I know, but what is that like?
Yeah.
Like,
what was it like for you?
What was it like for you? Because I know what it's like for me, but I know I'm living in the time.
Yeah.
I have the world's information at my fingertips.
Right.
I can literally walk from here to Kevin.
Right.
Now.
Yeah.
It'll tell me how long, where to go, where not to go, everything.
When it's traffic in certain areas, you wait upon you with guns.
Right. What was that like for you? Yeah. What was that? And she lived to be an old woman.
Yeah. What made you do it the first time?
Right. But according to the story, she went back for her husband. Right. That's why she went back. But she said she had to keep going back. She goes back. She never was found.
Right.
Never captured.
Right.
She
never got.
Nothing but God.
She had folks helping her along the way.
Yes.
People, white people, everybody helping her along the way.
And then you
orchestrated.
How much trust you have to have in these people.
Right.
To think that they're not going to sell you out.
Right.
And
again and again and again. To keep coming back.
Again and again and again. What faith did that take for you to be, as a woman during that time, to have that type of boldness?
Right.
And say, God, in the movie Harriet, she said something before she leaves the first time. She says, fear is my enemy. I trust in God. And I wrote that on the board in my house. My daughter and I say it all the time. Like, fear is my enemy. You will not ever defeat me.
Right.
That's the only way you can go after something that seems impossible.
Right.
Because that had to feel impossible.
Right.
The first time she did it.
Of course.
She had information, but she did it by herself the first time.
Impossible the first time and scary each and every time. Because you don't know what's lying ahead.
Yes.
Who, and if the person that you think you can trust is no longer going to be trustworthy.
Yes. So it would be Mother Harriet. I just want to know, like, I've always been in such awe of her. Like, what was that like?
Right.
Like, how do you conjure up that type of courage?
Right.
At that time. To be.
Where she could just literally be killed for no reason.
Yeah.
Let alone.
Or take it back into slavery and torture. Like the audacity of hope. That's an example of knowing who you are.
Right.
Without nobody telling you.
Right.
Everybody's a slave around you.
Right.
But innately, she knew, I'm not supposed to be this way.
Right.
I'm not supposed to be living like this. God didn't create me.
Right.
She had to know authentically who she was in order to say, I'm out of here.
Right.
And left. And bye.
For real.
So,
everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Like, you're not about to say I'm me.
Right.
Not me. Not today. So it would have to be her. It would have to be her.
I'm going to give you 3 words.
Oh, gosh.
There's 3 words.
3 words, okay.
You're going to choose one, and you're going to expound on it.
Okay.
Courage, honor, or abundance.
Courage, honor. I'm going to go with abundance.
Okay.
The reason why is because I feel like abundance is at the other spectrum of gratitude. I feel like you can feel abundance in your heart and have absolutely nothing else. You can be abundance and have abundance in so many ways and be fulfilled. And out of that abundance, there is a certain level of strength. I think abundance is one of those things that is cultivated through faith. Just the faith to know or to feel like you can do something bigger than yourself. You have you have to have an abundance of strength, faith, um, moxie. They say, but it's a necessity in order to fully walk in what you've been designed to do. And that is, and I always say our purpose is to glorify God and enjoy Him forever, right? And glorifying Him should be in abundance. You should never He's inexhaustible. So you should have inexhaustible ways to show who He is in your life. And that to me is abundance. Like right now, I'm comfortable in my finances, and there's not 5 figures in the bank, but my abundance comes in knowing when I leave here, I have a car that's running. Like abundance and gratitude goes hand in hand.
It does.
You can't have abundance and not have gratitude. You have to have gratitude and not feel like you have abundance.
Right.
You
That's
just can't.
Very interesting.
So, yeah, that's got to be it for me. It's because if you think instantly about money, but that's like the last thing you get.
Yeah,
like
it's a health, a sound mind.
That alone, if you got your health, you can make money.
Right.
You have your health, you can make some money. Money is so easy to make. That's what I need people to understand. Hello, everybody. I'm telling you. Let's just talk about abundance and money for a minute.
Right.
And I'm speaking as I minister to you, I minister to myself, everybody. It shouldn't be nobody out here broke. The only reason, I was telling my cousin this last night, the only reason why people don't have money, they don't want it bad enough.
Right.
They're comfortable in what they're doing. They're so comfortable with what they're doing. They don't want to stretch themselves in order to have more.
Right.
Because you have to sacrifice.
Yeah.
I always listen to Crazy's lives, do these lives on Fridays. And when I tell you, I be sitting there writing, taking notes. Like,
yeah.
One of the best things that happened to me was joining the fact, because I get a master class at the feet of an entrepreneur that has created. He's got it out the mud.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So he's saying stuff I need to know because I'm on my way up.
Right.
He said something about 2 years ago, and I wrote it down. Someone's sticking in my office. Do you want to be balanced or do you want to be great?
Right.
He wrote that thing down. It was like, that mindset is an abundance mindset.
Right.
You're gonna sacrifice sleep.
Yeah.
You can sleep or be broke.
Right.
You can be tired or rested. Tired with money, rested broke.
Right.
What are you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Nobody in 2025 should be trying to figure out, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do for money. People out here making money out of nothing.
Yeah.
Canva and Instagram. That's it.
So
abundance is multifaceted, but it is an abundance is also a mindset.
It is. It definitely is.
And once we lock into that for real, I think people will see major shifts in other areas. Like when we do this on April 1st, there's going to be an abundance of energy that comes into your life. We want to say we're not going to shift completely back into our old habits. Right?
Yes.
Because we're going to like the return on our investment.
Right.
We're going to feel good, look good, smell good, all the stuff, right? That brings on that abundance mindset. That discipline creates more abundance.
Right, it does.
It just continues to multiply. So, but in the ways of being grateful too, having the opportunity to do it. So I'm always gonna go back to gratitude and abundance being hand in hand. But abundance is, if we get locked into how it permeates every single facet of our lives, it's a game changer.
Yep.
It's a game changer.
And it definitely is a mindset.
It's a mindset.
Yeah.
Where's my money?
Yeah.
Let's get some wealth, health, time.
Yeah.
Time. Abundance is time. The fact that we've been sitting here 2 hours and 45 minutes. Like, I have things to do when I get home, but guess what? I can always I can maneuver my time. That like, you're talking about your freedom of your time.
Yeah.
Time now, like abundance now is freedom.
Yeah.
And, the fact that I could take tomorrow off and I don't have to call nobody, the boss.
Girl, listen.
I'm like, I don't feel like coming tomorrow.
Oh Lord.
They're gonna be mad at me because the kids be like, I'm not having school today.
But you can.
But I can do it.
You don't have nobody to call. And that is I know, oh my God, I'm just so excited.
You should be. You should be. Because it's going to be a situation where, and I'm going to go back to something we talked about the first time we met. You do not have to wait.
Right. I'm not waiting. I told you I'm ready.
Yeah, okay. Let's go. And the voice note I kept. So that's how we're going to start.
Yeah.
Start with use what you got. Use what you got. So I'm excited. Abundance mindset. Abundance as a mindset. That's gonna be one of my next. I'm supposed to buy a book on that. I got so many books I ain't read yet, Lord.
Me too.
But I need to. That's something that I need to explore more. Apparently, that was a good question, Liz. I like that.
I want to thank you for coming on. This has been awesome. Did you feel free?
I did. I felt very comfortable. I felt like I was talking to an old friend.
That's the goal.
That is the vibe. Yes. Y'all get on his podcast and come let Liz poke your brain, get some good stuff out. Because I'm like, I never thought about that. But I'm so glad I did. Thank you for having me. God bless you and continue to do this amazing work. And don't stop.
Well, you have a choice.
And you don't, because I got your phone number.
Thank you for listening to 1188 Outside the Box. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check out 1188outsidethebox.net for more information on us and also to shop our collection. Until next time, remember, growth ain't optional, y'all. It's a lifestyle.